Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. I said in my previous video about A'ja Wilson being out MVP'd by Kelsey Mitchell, and of course, Aliyah Boston's mere 6 points also being a major factor in Indiana defeating Las Vegas on Las Vegas's home court. First time Indiana has beaten Las Vegas on Las Vegas's home court. I said that I would do a separate video about Aliyah Boston and her defense on A'ja Wilson. Now, if you didn't see the video, make sure you check it out because I break down plays of how having Aliyah on the court changed everything in that game. How Odyssey Sims knocking down shots resulted from Aliyah Boston, even though she only has 6 points. So Aliyah, being smart as she is, notices how she's being played, reads the defense well, and makes smart decisions. Totally makes sense to me the more I watch Aliyah play, why Coach Dawn Staley, who was her coach at South Carolina, said that Aliyah has the highest IQ of any big she has ever coached. She might have said any player she's ever coached. Don't remember that in particular, but either way, she's a big, and she mentioned her having the highest basketball IQ, like out of this world. So not only did Aliyah Boston distribute the basketball well, play well on the offensive end, she did the same on the defensive end. So I'm not bothered by Aliyah Boston's 6 points. And those people who are saying Aliyah Boston had a horrible game, you must pay attention to the full game, not just the box score, not just how many points a person has. Now, how well did Aliyah play defense on A'ja Wilson, who had just been awarded her MVP? Well, if you left it up to Becky Hammon, you wouldn't think so at all. And not only Aliyah Boston, but Brianna Turner also played defense on A'ja Wilson. Now, generally speaking, we know it's true. When a microphone is put in front of a coach's face, in front of a player's face, you often hear that player or that coach give props to the other team, to particular players on the other team. Sometimes it's at the point where it's like, okay, hold down that praise for the other team. Let's focus again on us. But they do that out of acknowledging talent when it's in front of you, and also out of respect. I'm not talking about just blowing smoke. I'm talking about when it's merited. So Coach Becky Hammon, after her team lost on Sunday in game 1 of the semifinals, 73 Vegas, 89 Indiana, a 16-point loss, she was asked a question. Well, we're going to go over to the Ballers magazine on YouTube and listen to the question that Becky Hammon was asked.
And then speaking of A'ja's off night, what would you attribute that to?
I think she's
okay. So here's the question. Speaking of A'ja's off night, what would you attribute that to? Now, what exactly was A'ja's off night? A'ja Wilson. Let's go. I'm looking at ESPN.com. A'ja Wilson had 16 points, which for some players could be a great night. For A'ja, not. But not just the 16 points. The 16 points may not be so bad if you didn't look at her shooting percentage. A'ja Wilson shot 6 for 22. 6 for 22. That's a little over 27%. That's it. 6 for 22, a little over 27% A'ja Wilson shot. This is the person who was just awarded MVP of 2025. And so it's a fair question, right? What would you attribute this kind of game to? Now, most coaches who were watching the game would have said, you have to give credit to Aliyah Boston. The defense she played on A'ja Wilson kept A'ja from getting into a rhythm. Definitely good job by Aaliyah. And then Breonna Turner, she came in off the bench. She also gave A'ja Wilson some difficulty. And so you got to give credit where credit is due. You have to be honest and acknowledge that A'ja may have had an off beginning. She missed like her first 4 shots. But watching the game, most people would have to speak the truth and say what it was. And that was good defense from Indiana. What does Becky Hammon say?
I think she just missed. Honestly, she had a lot of great looks. She just missed, and that happens. Even the greatest players have nights off, like where they miss. So I'll tell you that she doesn't normally lay 2 stinkers in a row. You know, she's somebody who bounced back, makes the adjustments, but it's on the rest of us to kind of give her support. You know,
she just missed. Honestly, she says, "Oh, you know, she just missed. She didn't just miss. Like, you can just miss here and there. You can just miss a shot here, shot there. Everybody has off nights, absolutely. But you didn't just miss 6 for 22. You had Aliyah Boston on her, defending her hard, getting in her head and frustrating her. You had Bree Turner, who comes off that bench and does incredible things on the defensive end. So the least Becky Hammon could have done was acknowledge that. That's what coaches do. That's what players do. They do it for A'ja Wilson all the time. Oh, she's the greatest player in the world. Oh, she's just so amazing. If you listen to the game last night or watch the game last night, the commentators, oh my goodness, I was like, can we stop oozing A'ja Wilson? I get giving her credit, but it was to the point where it was just like, oh my goodness, really? Like, stop, please. Everybody was in the chat like, can we stop on that now? Can we stop? But not Becky Hammon. Becky Hammon can't give credit where credit is due. What about Aliyah Boston? You know how they have those interviews during the game? Aliyah Boston was interviewed. She was asked about her defense against A'ja Wilson. We're going to Sports Center on X.
On the defensive end, I know it's no easy task to contain A'ja Wilson, but what have you seen from you as well as the rest of the team on how you can make it difficult for her? Honestly, just trying to kind of be annoying a little bit, because obviously A'ja's a pretty great player.
So stop right there. Just trying to be annoying a little bit. And right away, what does she say? A'ja Wilson, I like how she said it though, a pretty good player. The one that everyone says is the best player in the world. But I like that. Give her credit, but don't give her too much. But at least she acknowledges her, right? I'm just trying to be annoying. Just trying to be just being annoying a little bit, right? That's my job. So yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I had nothing to do with this. But then she goes right into giving A'ja Wilson credit. Becky Hammon, take notes.
Honestly, just trying to kind of be annoying a little bit, because obviously A'ja's a pretty great player. So for me, just trying to make sure my presence is felt. Thank you.
Her presence was definitely felt. But if you ask Becky Hammon, A'ja just missed. Nothing to do with Aliyah Boston trying to be a little annoying, trying to make her work hard. She just missed 6 for 22. Let's take a look at Aliyah Boston being a little annoying on A'ja Wilson and making sure her presence was felt. We're going to go to Ashwin on X. So here at the top, A'ja with the ball, Aliyah guarding her, sliding her feet, arm up.
And Wilson, 2 former South Carolina.
Does a good job of contesting that shot without fouling. So you watch her again. She's nice and low here. She slides her feet, arm up, nice and wide, causes A'ja to have to turn again, go up. And Aliyah's length, Aaliyah staying in front of her, causes the miss, and she gets the rebound. And here, Aaliyah's picking her up well above the 3-point line.
A'ja.
Same thing there. Keeps her in front of her. Makes it very difficult. Keeps her body there. Keeps her arm up. And gets the rebound after forcing her to miss. And here we have Asia Wilson right about the free throw line. She's low. Aaliyah stays level with her, low.
Asia.
And again, gets her hand up, makes things difficult for Asia Wilson. She's not just missing 6 for 22. She's being well defended. And so here we've got this in-game interview going on over here. Becky Hammon watching Aliyah Boston do nothing and Asia Wilson just missing because it happens. So here's Aaliyah again level with Asia Wilson now on the short left corner.
So that's got to change this second half.
Coach, you're shooting under 40 from the
Excellent defense there as well. So here we're going to see Asia get a screen, and then Aliyah Boston and Lexi Hall are the two people caught up in this screen. Watch what happens. So Lexi steps up to help, to stop.
All right,
And then Lexi drops to the ground, but guess what? There is Aliyah Boston right there. And straight up, verticality. Another miss. Now on this one, Asia Wilson on the left elbow, and Aaliyah just matches her, stays level with her, low.
Spins, counters, doesn't get
the bounce. If you go back here, you'll see Aaliyah's got her. Now Kelsey Mitchell is off of Jewel Lloyd, so she can help if necessary, but they have not been doubling Asia. Aliyah Boston has just been putting her on lock, and Bree Turner did her share as well, but we've got Kelsey ready to help if Asia turns in that direction. Asia goes, and she starts to turn in that direction, and then she sees Kelsey, who got herself in the lane. So Asia turns the other way, and she's got to turn that way, take a tough shot, fading away, which of course she can hit that shot, but not with that defense on her all night long. Misses. Rebound. Becky Hammon might as well have just given up the kudos. She should have just given up the kudos, because you can see right there the kind of defense Aaliyah was playing. And you guys know Aaliyah can't breathe on people without that whistle blowing. So for her, let me see, how many fouls did Aaliyah have in this game? She had 3 personal fouls in the game, but to have to play Asia Wilson, who is without a doubt an extremely good player, but she got frustrated because the defense made her frustrated. Now, she missed her first few shots, and maybe that was she just had her MVP, got her MVP award. And lots of times in situations like that, whether it's a ring ceremony or whether it's something like that, sometimes emotions are high and it can be a little bit off. Okay, that's your first 4 shots, perhaps. And she missed her first free throw. But as the game goes on, I'm showing you right now, it was incredible defense from Aliyah Boston. Bree Turner also played very good defense. And Becky Hammon should know that, instead of just saying, well, she just missed. And then every time you turn around, everybody else is giving Asia props. I could take you right now to the Indiana Fever's post-game press conference, and you can hear Bree Turner talking about Asia Wilson being the greatest player in the world. You can hear Coach Stephanie White giving Asia Wilson props. But Becky Hammon goes to the table and says, oh, yeah, well, she just missed. She didn't just miss. And Becky Hammon should know that. She should be honest enough to say that. Doesn't change the outcome, obviously. That defense paid off. So for those, again, who said, well, Aliyah Boston only has 6 points, remember what I showed you in the previous video about how she was able to cause other people to get shots. Also remember that she expended a lot of energy on the defensive end. And so we'll take that for sure. And then we'll see what adjustments we get from Las Vegas, and Indiana has to adjust to those adjustments as well. Hey, listen, interesting statistic. The team that wins the first game of the semifinals has gone on to win the series 74% of the time. I believe I heard yesterday. The team that wins the first game has gone on 74% of the time to win the series. Now, of course, that's a stat. You don't play stats, you play the game. So that doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything. It just is what it is. Just as the team that wins the Commissioner's Cup very often goes on to win the championship. We'll see what happens. Okay, I just wanted to show you what a defensive masterclass we saw from Aliyah Boston in particular, and that Becky Hammon didn't seem to see what we saw in A'ja Wilson's 6-for-22 night. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.